Welcome to the third week in the leadership series, Leadership Optics. My name is Vida Echetabu. I'm very, very grateful for your time, and I'm glad you were able to join in on this conversation this week. So in the first week, we decided and we talked about foresight. Last week, we spoke about insight, and this week we are looking at oversight. Oversight, I would typically just do oversight equals aerial view. Everybody knows that the view from the top is different. Now, liken it to pilots. Liken it to, I think there's a thrill for skydiving and bungee jumping. Something about being able to see the world literally at your feet. Now, what makes the aerial view relevant? Because you know what? You can have the aerial view by circumstance. For those of us who have been opportuned to fly, and at the point where the plane comes to a particular level and you are now able to see the surroundings, the city, it looks beautiful and wonderful, but honestly, if you do not know the city, you really cannot pinpoint your left from your right. Now, why did I give that analogy? Because what makes oversight or the aerial view in this context of leadership is your growth through the ranks. Somebody who, just maybe a founder's child who never went through the ranks or understudied the business and grew with it and is positioned all of a sudden magically in executive leadership is likely to struggle, because while they have the oversight in principle, they're not really able to interpret it and direct the leadership in the applicable manner. Igbo, forgive me, that RL thing almost disgraced me there. Those of us from Anambra State, Abi. All right, so now I give an example. When I was headhunted from the bank, I started my career as a private and investment banker, and pensions wanted to, increase, grow, set up more structure, and also then COO headhunted me, and long story short, I came to pensions, and they had asked me what I wanted to do. I had said I would like to do relationship management. Prior to my arrival, that unit, that team, that sub-department was non-existent. So I literally birthed that department. And it involved a lot of hitting the streets, going to, weird ends of town, and just establishing proper B2B relationships with our employer clients, as the case may be. Fast forward through the ranks. Fast forward many years after, I had grown, and I was now able to look at certain things from a certain height of leadership. Please note that leadership is ever growing, and that there really isn't an apex. Even for chief executives, and I digress here though, but even for chief executives, there's always room to go higher and higher and higher. As we say, every Oga has an Oga. So back to the matter. I was now in leadership, and I was now leading either wealth managers or business development managers, as the case may be. And because I had grown through the ranks, I was able to see certain things from a richer perspective. I could understand when the traffic is going this way, I knew where it was heading. I knew when the traffic had stalled, said, okay, check this point, check this point. These could be the reasons. Why? Because oversight, like I said, aerial view, is only as impactful and useful as the ability to interpret it and apply it to the current situations of leadership where we find ourselves. who is the highest sitting person you know, even that person needs to go further higher to the Lord, because Jesus is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So at his highest point, no matter how high anything, dead or alive, breathing or not breathing, inanimate or animate, everything is still below Christ. So today I would like to use this opportunity as we discuss the aerial view, as we discuss oversight in leadership. I would like to invite you to subscribe to Jesus. He has the final oversight. He knows what hangs on in tomorrow. He knows what is happening behind closed doors where you and I are never going to be. He knows who is speaking in our favor. He knows who to raise in our defense. He knows how to make sure that from his view, he can see disaster is lurking over there and somehow we find ourselves going a different way. Why? Because he is the King of oversight. So I hope that as we're going through this leadership series and we're talking about leadership in terms of our secular competence and skills and development, we are also bringing in the spiritual, which is bringing in Jesus as the master of foresight, the king of insight, and the topmost of oversight. I hope that as we bring this session to an end, you will be curious enough to join us next week for the concluding part of this four-way series. Thank you very much. God bless you and have a fantastic week ahead. Bye-bye.